This video will cover the review and reflect for the topic of applications of logs and exponents. For the review, we are asked to solve the equation that contains exponents. You may want to pause this video here so that you may attempt to answer the question on your own. Our hint is to use U substitution. We can find this on both 32 as well as page 136 of our notebook. But let's go on ahead and use U substitution. We're going to let U equal to this middle term right here that contains the x, not the 4, but e to the x. So when I square this, I will have U squared, or if you think about it, I'm getting my e to the x and I'm squaring it. Because we have a power to the power, we can multiply these two and we find that U squared is equal to e to the 2x. What that means for us is that we can change e to the 2x to U squared by using this part right here. We can also use minus 4u because e to the x is u. And then we can continue on with plus 3 is equal to 0. This is now a quadratic equation that we should know how to solve. By factoring, u minus 3 times u minus 1 is the factored form of u squared minus 4u plus 3. Setting each factor equal to 0, I find that u can either equal to 3 or u can equal to 1. Now let's solve for x. Because I know u is equal to e to the x, I'm going to write this as e to the x is equal to 3 and e to the x is equal to 1. Now we have an exponential equation that needs to be solved. Notice we cannot get the same base, so we're going to have to take the log of both sides. In this case, I'm going to take the natural log of e to the x is equal to the natural log of 3. The reason why I'm taking the natural log is because we're going to use the fact that the natural log of e is equal to 1. Now I'm using the third property of logs in which I bring my exponent to the front. Now I have x times the natural log of e is equal to the natural log of 3. Because I know natural log of e is equal to 1, now I have found that x is equal to the natural log of 3. And I would do the same thing for the other problem, in which I would take the natural log of both sides, and now using the third property of logs, I bring my x to the front, so I have x times the natural log of e is equal to the natural log of 1. I know that natural log of e is equal to 1, so now I have x, and now I have the natural log of 1. But guess what? We know that the natural log of 1 is equal to 0, because if we had log base e of 1 and I want to know what it equals to, I would say that my base is e to the exponent of 0, and that must equal to my argument, which is 1. And anything to the 0 power equals to 1. So now I can find that the natural log of 1 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 0. Those are my two answers. Now let's turn our attention to the reflect of the page. After the lecture videos, you will be able to determine what these letters represent in the formula. And that concludes this video.